Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ryan Cook from Ryan Cook Carves TV here on YouTube, and I wanted to tell you guys about the tools that I use every single day. So I'm going to pretty much run through everything I'm working on right now to fix and finish this wolf. So this is a big wolf that I'm doing, kind of like a Beowulf, big wolf. And these are the kind of the tools that I use. So right off the hop, I'm carving with the power cap. That is the Peaky Safety power cap, and it's really great. The fan blows from the top here, sucks in the air, blows it out. You get no wood chips. It's really good. I really have enjoyed using this thing. It's taken a bit to get used to because I'm so used to squinting, but with this thing you kind of don't have to squint. You can just be free, and the wood chips don't come in, and the sawdust isn't getting it in because the fan works really good. It's got a long battery. Personally, I think you should buy 2 batteries if you're going to have this, because if you're carving like I do and you're carving long days or working with wood for long days, long hours in a day, it is it's worth it. So first off, I'm sponsored by a lot of these guys, so I'm not going to bullshit you and say that, you know, I'm not, but I do really believe in the products that I get. I am very fortunate enough to have just shot for the stars and gone for the companies that I believe in the most, the companies that I actually use the most, and they've been fortunate enough to say yes. I honestly can't think of any that have said no. So I'll just start off right off the top of my chainsaws. I use Echo chainsaws. They are amazing. This is the CS251 WES. It is about, I don't know, 4.5 pounds before the bar. It's very light. It's great detail. Echo goes with the numbers are the CCs, so it's 25 CCs on a Canon dime tip 8-inch bar on quarter pitch chain. The chain I don't really have a sponsor for or anything. It's just your generic quarter pitch chain. And then for my quick carves, I use the CS501P, 50 horsepower, a little heavier. I've run a 12-inch Canon dime tip bar on it, quarter pitch chain. And it is great for any kind of beginner. If you're a beginner and you just want like one saw to start, it's a bit heavier, but you can block with it. You can detail with it, and you can finish with it. You can also use the 361, but it's going to be a lot slower for blocking. And my go-to saw, this is kind of my blocking saw slash big cuts, big detail. Like, you don't really do detail, but you can really bend a bar. And that's with the Echo CS620 Pro version with a 28-inch Canon dime tip. No, Canon Toonie, a 28-inch Toonie. Yes, run on 3/8 low pro chain. So for me, I can pretty much get by with those 4 saws. Echo does make a 800, which is for big stuff, which I'll run up to a 42-inch bar, but I don't often use that saw as it's very big. And I heard there's a new one coming out really soon, so I'm pumped on that. It's the 780 or something like that, but regardless. So for my tools, I use Makita power tools. Makita Canada has been awesome. I absolutely believe you pay for what you get. And before I was sponsored by Makita, I was buying kind of your Canadian Tire Mastercraft junk that would just break and return and break and return and break and return. And finally, I got a Makita die grinder for my birthday, and to this day I still use it. I've had the brushes repaired once. It is the gift that keeps giving. And like, I'll start right at the beginning. So a lot of the times I'm using a Makita finger sander on, I think this is the 3/8 belt. I actually buy Makita belts because they work better than making them yourselves. A lot of guys always say they can use a bandsaw and you can cut strips from like a 6-inch, planer, a sander planer, or whatever those things are called, belt sander. But for me, I find that there's always a little bit of fuzzies, and when those start going at high speeds, they just tend to dissipate and snap very quick. And for me, I use Makita die grinders. I use the flip switch ones because I find with the toggle, it is a bit of lull. So you can basically be carving and you take your hand off it for 1 second and then the engine stops or the motor stops and you are waiting for it to kick back up. And sometimes it's actually a little hard on the motor. And then bits. For all my bits and burrs, I use saber-tooth burrs and bits. They are the absolute best in the business. They have hyper-aggressive ones like this to fine detail ones like this for the angle grinder. So for these discs on the angle grinders, I actually use the toggles because they can be very aggressive, and there's no BSing about that. These are very aggressive, and if you go the wrong way, they can jump. So I definitely think it's worth it to invest in angle grinders that have the flip switch and angle grinders that have your toggles, depending on what you're doing, because I use angle grinders like this, which is trigger, and it's on a 6-inch Norton grinding disc, which I do a lot of like sanding, a lot of different things. And it is, it's really good. So moving on from grinders, I use the Makita battery powered angle grinder for my Mampa tools. So Mampa tools is kind of a new tool that's come out in the last few years. They're kind of like adapting to the power gouges, but it's in a smaller scale. It's really cool. They've got like a V-shaped bit. This is the mini grinder, I think it's called. You can just check out mampa.com to check out all their products. I'll list all the products below. All their websites will be attached. And yeah, I find the tool great. It's good for furring. It's good for detail. Kind of creates like different things when you're looking for different patterns or different textures. And also when it comes to Makita battery powered stuff, these Makita die grinders are great. Get a couple batteries, have them always charging, and they can stand up to what you want to push them through. Personally, I use these for ice and snow, and this is I think it's 801C. I just want to find out so I'm not misquoting. It's the 800C. It's the 800C. I only use Makita die grinders. Only ever would have. They're absolutely the best. And for sanding, I use the Norton Sandoflex a lot of the time. I find it gives it a nice polish. It kind of busts off all the fur, like little particles that you'll find in when you're using a chainsaw and you're furring, and you burn it and you sand it, and it gives it kind of a nice polished look, kind of like this. This is the bear to the other side of the bench. So, that's all chainsaw, but then when you're done, you burn it, sand it, kind of gives it like nice finish. And then that brings me to finishing. So finishing, I use Dremel. I use the 4300s pretty much all the time. And, I used to use the 500s, but I think it's called the 500, but that's kind of your starter Dremel. They're great. It's 1 speed. It's really cheap. They have a fantastic warranty, but if you want to pay the extra bucks, the 4300 is multiple speeds, has up to six or something like that. They haul and they're fast, and you get your money's worth. And for me, I run about 4 Dremels at once, maybe 5. I also have 6, 7 die grinders, 6 or 7 angle grinders. I really use multiple ones because when you're in a competition and you don't really want to waste your time stopping, changing bits, changing burrs, going through the motions of wasting time, especially in competitions. I mean, I waste enough time just standing around and thinking about what my stuff is, but if I'm changing bits and burrs out every time, it can be a bit much. But that's, you know, if you're just starting out, one's going to do you fine. You're taking your time. You want to learn each tool anyways. And yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. So I've also been given these guys, Arbortech started to send me some stuff. They're really cool. I like this little mini grinder. I've got a Sandaflex mini disc on it, and works great. It's good for like shaping out, you know, cheeks and muscles, and they have some really cool products that I'm really liking. I like their power chisel, really cool for doing like feathers and kind of shaping things. And when I get down to the nitty gritty after burning, sanding, I mean, multiple blow torches. I use MAP gas. That's kind of what I use all the time. I use Tiger torches because I like to like burn. And I really want to invest in getting a butane cutting torch setup. I don't know exactly what it's called. I'm, you know, learning as I go also, but I want to get one of those because a lot of the pros use them. They burn hot. They do clean lines. It's just expensive, and to be honest, I have, you know, not been able to afford it. So for finishing, and I can get the job done with the burning with all the tools I use anyways. So Iowata makes amazing airbrushes. Now, I am not sponsored by them. I honestly just like their product. I've used a few other airbrushes, Mastercraft. It was like 25 bucks. I used a couple of other ones like Pest something. It didn't work for what I'm doing with wood. I'm sure it's good for a million other things, but for me, it wasn't the right product. It got gummed up with the paint I use. And for iPads, you all know what an iPad is, so whatever. I'm not going to show you it. There's really cool programs you can use with iPad. I have the iPad Pro, so I got the pencil. You draw right onto it. You can layer in things. You can template things. I go by templates. I've used templates throughout my whole career. And yeah, you know, so there's a lot of different things. And you know, joinery, I use Gorilla Glue for joinery. I'll sometimes use other stuff if it's around, but most of the time my go-to thing is Gorilla Glue. They make great product, and you know, I like this foamy stuff. It's hard. You can just leave it and then carve it, and then if you really want to get technical afterwards, you can paint onto it. And excuse me, you know, it's just a great product. So you know, with chainsaws, you know, I'm gonna say there is other chainsaw brands out there. You're gonna pay huge amounts of money for them, and in comparison to what you're going to get, Echo is by far my favorite. I mean, I've run Husky, I've run, what is that, Mobilite, or I can't remember what they are, Homelight. I've run a lot of different saws. Makita has great saws. They have good battery saws. I use their electric saw for ice. But when it comes to gas, my Echo is a go-to. And if you were to compare pricing to the CS501 to like the MS4400 or a 365 Husky, you're going to be paying a lot less. And I'm not bullshitting when I say I really beat these saws up. I actually carve them. I use them. I mean, I've had this saw for, I don't know, 4 years. I've had that saw for 3 seasons. And I've had saws from when Echo first sponsored me that I'm still using to this day. So, you know, to each their own. Everybody's going to pick and disagree with whatever I've said to. If you don't like Makita, you like another company. Good for you, you know, whatever. Everybody's got to find what works for them. I'm just trying to tell you what I use every single day. These are the tools I use. And hopefully it's going to help. If you need to look up any like burrs and bits, Sabertooth has everything listed. You can go to makita.ca for all that stuff, and Echo Tools, echopowerequipment.ca. You can find pretty much everything you need to know about saws. And you can always leave me comments or ask me questions. I'm always going to try to help and let you guys know any thoughts. And if you have tools that you use that I might not know, you know, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I'm always hunting for new things, new ideas, new tools that are going to work. And if there's something that's going to help me get ahead and you guys have something that can help me, please do. I'll be sure to like make a video about it and talk about it. And, you know, we can all work together. That's what this kind of goal of my page is to kind of show people that wood carving is fun. Chainsaw carving is awesome. It's not everybody's, you know, holding on to their secrets and not telling you everything. I mean, obviously I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm not going to tell you, you know, everything. You have to learn and try and fail and overcome. And so that's it. Right now I am just going to wrap it up with these are the tools that I use. I am so fortunate to have the amazing sponsors that I do, but in all my videos I'm going to try to not sugarcoat things or bullshit or tell you things I don't use. So I really do use these products. I absolutely stand by them. I think that, you know, Echo chainsaws are the best in the business. I think Cannon bars, there's nothing better. There's Makita power tools. I am blue all the way through and through. And Sabertooth burrs and bits, they're amazing. You got Mampa tools. They make really cool products for carvers, for power carvers, and they kind of like have a niche market for things you might not even know you could use them for. Dremel rotary bits are amazing. And Arbortech's awesome. I really enjoy like using their products, getting to know their products. They're also niche power carving company. And what else do we got? I think that's everything. And the power cap there, it's awesome. The power cap works great. I truly have enjoyed using that. And they have so many other great masks and different kinds of respirators. They're, you know, helping everyone from frontline workers to everybody. So hats off to that company. And Iowata, I love Iowata airbrushes. You know, if Iowata's watching, hook a brother up. And Norton Sanding 3M, they're awesome. Also great company. I guess that's it, guys. So those are the tools I use every day. And hopefully you've learned something. And if you can think of something that I have not mentioned or a tool that I don't use, please leave it in the comments below. If I start using it, I'll address it, obviously give you some props for it. And one thing I really like is these ISO-tunes. They are they actually are soundproof and they're kind of geared for that. So I just got a set. They sent me another set that hasn't come in the mail. I think it's coming today. It's they're wireless and they're really cool. Good product, good isolation. Like the chainsaw, don't need earplugs. These are actually really good. I'll let you know how the other pair goes. And, you know, let's all work together. The thing about this kind of situation is we're all in it together, and same for carvers and wood carvers and people who love wood. And you know, we all want to get better, we all want to learn. So I am happy to show you what I know. I am by far not the best, not the worst, not anything other than just me. So hopefully this helps some of you, and come on back another time. There's gonna be lots more videos later.